This story is based on a true event. Today, we're diving into the Surugadai Female Student Case, a mystery with lingering traces. Join us as we explore the disturbing truth that remains trapped in the shadows of that day. 1988, Traces in the Dark. In the winter of 1988, an old apartment in a Tokyo college town was home to a female student who led a quiet, ordinary life. Her familiar face could be seen on the way to school each morning, and the soft glow from her window as she studied late into the night was a common sight. All of it seemed like nothing more than a simple, everyday routine. But that peaceful existence was shattered in an instant, when a friend, concerned after not hearing from her, went to check on her. They discovered a truly horrific scene. The student had been brutally murdered in her room, which looked as though a violent storm had torn through it. When the police arrived, they were met with a strange and unnerving detail. The killer's footprints, fingerprints, and even the method used to wield the weapon were all left in plain sight. It was as if the culprit was taunting them, daring them to catch me if you can. The police were confident that this overwhelming evidence would quickly lead to an arrest. But for reasons that remain unknown, those traces held no answers, and the case quickly went cold. Strange shadows and footsteps. What makes this case even more chilling is the testimony of the building's residents, who reported a series of bizarre experiences leading up to and after the murder. One resident claimed to have heard footsteps pacing the hallway around 2 in the morning, just days before the crime. The sound stopped at the victim's door, followed by the unsettling rattling of the doorknob. Another neighbor reported seeing a dark, shadowy figure standing in front of her window. At first, they dismissed it as a trick of the light, but after the murder, the memory became a terrifying nightmare that they could never forget. The realization that these strange occurrences were linked to her tragic death plunged the residents into a state of sheer terror. Rumors began to spread like wildfire. Some claimed to hear a faint weeping from the student's room every dawn, while others spoke of persistent knocking on the front door. There was even a gruesome ghost story about a blood-stained handprint that remained on the wall where the weapon was found. These tales only served to amplify the fear surrounding the case. The light in the abandoned room. After the incident, the room was immediately sealed off. But the bizarre events did not stop. Even after a long period of time had passed, building managers insisted they had seen a light on in the room multiple times. The door was securely locked, and the electricity had been disconnected. So how was it possible? People who looked at the window of that room claimed to feel an unsettling gaze, as if someone was staring down at them. In response to these unexplainable phenomena, the building owner finally sealed off the room completely and covered the window with a black cloth. Yet, some still swear they've seen a faint light flickering behind the curtain, as if someone is unable to leave the room. This case remains an official cold case in the files of the Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department. The killer may still be alive somewhere, or perhaps they are trapped in that room, still waiting to be watched over. To this day, residents near the Surugadai college town refuse to turn their heads and look at that room when they pass by in the early morning. Closing remark. The traces of the case have not disappeared, and the killer has not been caught. Perhaps the scariest thing is that the stories of so many cold cases in the world might not just be someone else's story. Join us next time for another tale that will send a shiver down your spine.